Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Wisdom and Light here, and I am back with another pick a card reading. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Hi, my name is Bianca. Some of you guys know me as Miss J, and welcome to Wisdom and Light, where we do pick a card readings like this one, trending topic readings, and whatever that's going on in the cosmos. I felt called to do a pick a card reading surrounding messages that we need to hear from our ancestors and spirit guides. I feel that we need to hear some positive messages, things that we should know. And there are 3 piles. I decided to just make it about 3 piles today. We have group 1, we have group 2, and we have group 3. So before we get started, feel free to pause this video to center yourself and to feel which group is calling to you. You can pick more than one group. You can listen to all of them, but go by what you're feeling and take all the time that you need. So again, feel free to pause this part of the video so you can center yourself and focus. And once you pick the group, I'll put the timestamps in the description box and also in the comments so you can pick which group that you chose. Anyways, thank you so much. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you are excited for this reading. It also really helps the channel a lot. And thank you guys so much for all of your love and support. I'm excited to see what shows up. And let's begin. Alrighty, so if you have chosen group 1, then this is your guided message from your ancestors and spiritual team. We have release. These are messages that you need to hear for your highest good and protection. We also have autumn leaves. Some more oracle cards. We have moving on, but it's showing up reverse. Okay. We have rest and rejuvenation, reverse. We also have the truth card, but it's also showing up reverse. You guys are getting a lot of reverse messages. So for me, this feels like if you have chosen this group, there could be something that's going on where you're having a hard time letting go. And this could even symbolize a new chapter or a new cycle in your life. But because this is a new chapter and this is a new cycle for you, I feel that maybe it's hard to say goodbye, or it's hard to let go, or it's hard to pull away, whatever that this is. The last card that you received is unfolding. So let's talk about your oracle message, and I'm also going to shuffle some tarot for you guys, and let's get a feel of what I'm getting for you. You know, what I find interesting about your reading group number 1 is that there's a lot of symbolism surrounding trees and surrounding leaves if you look at the imagery of your cards. And for me, I feel that when we pay attention and focus on trees and the nature that they hold, normally when the fall season shows up, the tree starts to shed off its leaves. It starts to do that thing that it does when autumn is here. The plants begin to die, the leaves begin to die, and everything becomes relatively very dormant. And then there's a resting period. There's just this quiet that happens because after autumn is winter. When winter comes, we already know what happens during the winter. It snows. I feel like right now, group number 1, like I said in the beginning of this message, just from looking at this and feeling what I'm feeling, you are definitely saying goodbye. I'm not sure what you're saying goodbye to or who you're saying goodbye to, but you're saying goodbye. Some of you guys could even still be grieving, or you experience some form of a loss. And this is why it's hard to accept, or it's hard to move forward or move past whatever that this is, because there were already signs, or you were already receiving messages that this is coming to a certain end. Now, on a positive note, this just feels like a door closing for a new door to open. This feels like a new opportunity. This feels like this can be what you need to really get your life started and to start over. When we kind of sit and reflect on how this year has gone, doesn't matter if you're watching this reading a year from now or you're watching this as soon as it uploads, there's a moment where we sit with ourselves and we ask, did I do enough? Did I complete what I need to complete? And a lot of times we don't get to complete them. We don't get to finish what we say we're going to do because everything else kind of steps into the way. So there's something about group number one where you could be in a space of deep reflection and also letting go and releasing what truly no longer serves you because it serves a higher purpose for you to do so. We have moving on reverse, and we have rest and rejuvenate that's also showing up in a reverse position. Again, I don't know what's going on with group number one, but it feels like grieving. It feels like doing something you weren't planning to do. And this moving forward, whatever that this wasn't something that you anticipated. This feels like you didn't really have a choice. This is a part of life, and this is what's expected of you. And maybe there's a little bit of you that doesn't want to move forward. But it really helps if you do. And the harsh reality of this reading is it says truth. Truth is here, but it's also in a reverse position. By accepting everything for what it is, you're able to make sound decisions on what needs to be done. There's a level of acceptance that's here in this reading, but it starts when you let go. And on a positive note, Ace of Swords, on a positive note, I want to just also say that because group number one has walked away or let go or started over, new path, new beginning, because all of that is happening for you guys, maybe you haven't been resting. Maybe you haven't been taking care of yourself. Maybe you haven't been present. You know what I mean? So I encourage all of you to find a moment or to find time in the day where you are giving back to you. That is highly recommended. It says here, "Oh beloved, change me into one who knows how to relax completely, sleep deeply, and receive all blessings of every moment exactly as it presents itself with ease and gratitude." Because you know what? You deserve rest. Because what happens in the autumn season? The plants itself are getting ready to rest. The plants itself are shedding leaves. Trees itself is shedding leaves to make space for that time. Because if you think about it, I'm sure if there's leaves on a tree, leaves hold energy. There's a lot to make something look beautiful. There's a time to show out. There's a time to be present. There's a time to bloom. But then there's a time to pull back. There's a time to release. There's a time to be still. And you're being called to be still. Maybe you've been ripping and running. You've been overworking. You've been doing something to reach your goals. And now your ancestors are very loud about, hey, the rest of this year is really going to require you to be present for you. Because how can you be present for your guides? How can you be present for your ancestors? How could you be present for anyone if you're not there for yourself and if you're not pouring into yourself? And there's also a vibe here, and this is kind of your ancestors kind of coming in. A family member, someone that has passed, or whomever that you are connecting to, because I feel like a lot of you are, in a way, I gotta keep it real, a lot of you guys are kind of hearing what you need to hear, even though it's kind of like, ugh, I know. It's kind of like, hey, there's just so much love in this reading from your guides, from your ancestors, and there's a vibe here of, we are telling you that everything's going to be okay. We are telling you that things have a way of working itself out, but there's not enough trust that it's going to work out. There's not enough belief that it's going to work out. So it's like you're going against what needs to be done. You're going against what needs to be done. And if there is a lot of love and support here, but you're not in the space of receiving it, or you're not accepting when you need to take a step back, then it's a disservice to your ancestors for everything that they do for you to show up, to be present when you pray, when you say, why me? Why is this happening? Maybe you believing in the worst or assuming that you're alone when you're not. You know, it kind of sucks for your guides, because it's like, no, we haven't left, but you haven't been resting, or you haven't been present, or you haven't been accepting something for what it is. And how about whatever door that closed Whatever that this is that you felt was going to work out, you're being redirected because it's really truly for your highest good, even though it kind of sucks. For some of you that's having a hard time not moving forward, not letting go, and then in the process, not taking care of yourself or taking care of what needs to be done. And when you don't take care of yourself, you're not elevating your ancestors in spirit. You're not. Okay. The next card is intuition. It says here, the divine message on this card, it says, change me, divine beloved, into one who can offer all major decisions to you. Let me trust you're always guiding me in the right directions. May I always remember that if something is meant to be, out of no way, God finds a way. Yep, we have the Fool. The Fool talks about taking necessary risk, new beginnings, a new cycle, because if you look at the Fool card, it symbolizes the number 0. 0 is a reset. This is definitely a reset. Now, on a lighter note, this could be a decision that you're making to shed some, I don't know, like you're shedding something. You could be cutting your hair. You could be thinking about wanting to lose weight. Whatever that this is really going to be everything that you need. But right now, I feel like group number 1, you need to let this go. You need to focus on taking care of yourself. And you need to focus on also accepting certain things for what it is, so you don't end up, you know, in pain or sad or hurt. Yup, you're getting it's time to move forward. Now remember, your ancestors are not benevolent angels or archangels. There are people that you once knew that were in your family, and they are no longer here with us in the physical realm, but they are present spiritually. And let me tell you, however you've been carrying this conversation, even though I understand, and you're understood, by the way, it's still kind of like, dang, girl, you don't even see, or damn, you don't even see why this is happening, because you're so fixated on the, how could you do this to me? Or why is this happening? Am I cursed? Is this bad luck? There's just something about taking the lesson from this and turning it into something that could pour into you, something that can fuel you. And I totally understand loss. I understand disappointment. I understand fear. But I feel like your ancestors don't want you to stay in that. Because 6 of Swords says, even though it's hard to say goodbye, even though it's hard to move forward, we have to. And as long as you're taking one foot in front of the other and you're moving onward, it's okay to cry about it. It's okay to grieve even, but the vibe is don't look back. I remembered one of my older cousins, my dad's first cousin. I asked her, how are you able to carry on in life, because she's been through so much? And she said to me, you have to move forward and don't look back. Move forward and don't look back, because if it's meant to be, if it's meant to happen, God is going to find a way to bring that back into your life full circle. And this is a woman that's wise beyond her years, and she has 60 years of experience, so she knows what she's talking about. And granted, we hear move on, do what's best for you, or release what no longer serves you. But to walk this earth for 60 plus years, and you know that that's truly the remedy, time heals all, and taking one foot in front of the other and not taking life for granted is really what's going to save you from so much, is really truly the cure. You have to take one step in front of the other. And I remember telling this to a client, even if you're crying, even if you feel what you feel and you're grieving, that's fine. But make sure you're taking one foot in front of the other. Make sure you are not going back to the place where you were disrespected. Make sure that you are still on your path. It's unhealthy to act like it doesn't bother you, right? You can embrace that, yeah, you know what, this hurts me. And for however long it takes, you can work through feeling whatever that you need to feel. But going backwards and staying in it and hoping that the people in question or whatever is going to see you for you or do what is best, because you're hoping if you put your best foot forward that things will change, that's always going to unfortunately be a recipe for disaster, because that's depending on other people to make things better for you. That's not you taking control of your being and your life and yourself. That is putting that power in somebody else. And if they decide to not give that to you, if they decide to not forgive you, if they decide to block you, X you out, whatever, will that destroy you? Will that keep you in this cycle that isn't healthy for yourself? Because does their acceptance, does their presence give you validation? I think in a way that's taking away your power and is putting it in someone else's hands. And that's way too much control when you have control of your being. You have control of yourself. Okay? So I feel like your reading is saying it's okay to feel, and it's okay to go through the things that you're going through, but not taking care of yourself because this is happening isn't the way, because your ancestors would want you to continue on and to carry on and to do what is necessary. I hate that this is the message, because none of this is easy, by the way. This is not all right, that's the solution. I'm just going to let this all go and I'm going to move on with life because life is so great. I get it, right? However, I want you to take this as taking small steps towards moving forward. You don't have to see this reading and say, okay, yep, I'm done with it. I'm a new person now. That's not how healing works. That's not how grief works. That's not how letting go works. Because letting go is an ongoing process. Not even trees shed all their leaves at once. You see it happen little by little. Give yourself that grace. But take small steps towards carrying on. You deserve that. Give that to yourself because you deserve that. That's the whole point of your message, especially with the Six of Swords here. So I want to read to you guys the message of release. Let's focus on the message of release. The message says, it is time to release yourself from an ongoing negative attachment with someone who hurt you in the past. Even though you have no physical contact, this person continues to hurt you because you continue to give power to them through your thoughts. An energetic attachment still exists. On a conscious level, you may believe that you have already worked through this issue. However, on a heartfelt level, you may still carry the hurt. Healing is a process which has many layers. It is possible to detach from this situation, yet the first step is to understand why it is important for you to let go of this issue. You are doing this for you and no one else. Also, know that in releasing this issue, you are not condoning the person's action or behavior. Rather, you are consciously choosing not to be a perpetual victim to his or her past actions. Realize that by holding on to this hurt, you are allowing this person to keep on hurting you. The following prayer may help you to forgive and release yourself from ongoing negative ties. You can perform this prayer yourself, but you may choose to seek help from a counselor, or, y'all could book a reading with me if you really want to talk about it a little bit deeper, and we can kind of go with what can be done what could we do going forward, rather than focusing on what they feel or how they're moving or what blah, 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 blah. We can focus more so on what's next for me. What does life look like without this? What does life look like now that I'm taking a step back? What does life look like now that I'm calling back my energy? Because I no longer want to give this power. And if you're grieving, right, if it has nothing to do with someone being negative towards you, but you're just grieving someone, or you have to walk away, you have to move, you have to let go. It's about mourning what you have to walk away from, but also thinking about, well, what will my life look like once I take these steps towards my next chapter? Because that's really all that this is, group number one. This is just a group that is holding themselves back from turning the page to the next chapter. You ever like reread a chapter and over because you don't want it to end? Because you know that once you turn that page, the people, everything there is no longer present anymore. And now you have to read the next page. You have to take those steps. Okay? So your guides are calling you right now to sit comfortably, to close your eyes, and imagine this person or situation from which you wish to detach. Imagine both of you and the other party surrounded by a white light. Now invoke the energy and presence of God. Imagine both yourself and the other party energetically connected to each other by a blue cord of light. This is the negative attachment you wish to sever. Now imagine the blue cord being severed by a sword of a blue light. As the cord is cut, visualize the other party moving away from your life, carried by the hands of God, and feel yourself engulfed in protected light by love. Give thanks to God for this love and help during this time. And if this is something in regards to grieving someone, then I want you to focus on envisioning this person showing you so much love, embracing you and saying, I am well, I am okay. Your ancestor needs you to continue, group number one. Because if you don't continue, how do they? How are you elevating them? How are you elevating your ancestors if you do not continue on? Because when you succeed, when you reach milestones, you elevate your spirit guides, you elevate your ancestors, you elevate God. And that's a power that only you can experience if you try and win, because eventually you will. Give yourself that. Oh, group number one. This is the group. This is the group, indeed. Indeed, this is the group. And Spirit is saying here, and when I say Spirit, I mean God. I'm just used to saying Spirit because I'm just used to saying it. I mean God when I say that because we believe in God over here, okay? The unfolding is here. This is the last card that showed up. It said, change me, God, or divine beloved, into one who lets you guide things according to your will. May the highest unfold in all ways. I say amen to that. What? I love this message for you guys. Now, let's see. What is something that group number one can look forward to? What is something, oh, hello. Page of Cups. I see new friendships. I see new connections for group number one. I actually feel that things are going to start opening up. I also see new hobbies, new passions, things that's just going to help you feel more like yourself and more connected to you again. 3 of Wands. I see group number one moving. I see group number one traveling. I see group number one starting again. I see a staycation for some of you. I see a road trip. I see driving on a road and not knowing where you're going, but you're going to get to a certain destination. I see group number one. Some of you guys could be leaving a job. Some of you guys could be inspired to go back to school. Yup, 6 of Pentacles can talk about giving and receiving of energy. And the 3 of Cups. I see a new beginning. I see celebration. I see happiness here for you guys. And 6 of Wands speaks about victory. And then the back of the deck message is the Sun, which is the most positive oracle that you can receive in any reading. So group number one, how about focus on, yes, you're letting go of the things that you have to work through, or you're making peace with what is, but what are some things that you can do that's going to inspire you and make you happy? What are some things that you can do that's going to pour back into you? Okay, what are things that you've always wanted to try? There's a big world out there and you might be locking yourself up because of what it is that you're feeling. What could you do that's going to pour into your cup? And whatever that is, however that looks, do it. I hope that this brought you a lot of clarity. And I hope this inspires you to think about the things you would like. Things you would like to work towards. Things you would like to give to yourself. Okay? Yep, you got 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles can talk about holding on. It can. So ask yourself, what are you holding on to? And is it serving you? Is it serving your highest good to hold on to it? Anyways, guys, I love you so much. Leave a comment down below if you chose group number 1. I really hope it resonated. Let me know if it did. And we will be back with another reading in the future. Bye. Hi, if you chose group number 2, then this message is for you. These are messages from your spirit guides and ancestors, messages that you need to hear for your highest good and protection. These are the cards that came up. We have a lot of oracle cards, and I'm also going to be shuffling some tarot as well. So let's get started. Group number 2, what our message is coming in from group number 2, we have the universe. We also have past life, and then we have healing. Well, you guys got 3 cards. Group number 2 only got 2. You guys ended up getting 3. I didn't know that 3 cards came from the Universal Wisdom Oracle. We have emotional withdrawal. We also have positive movement forward. Positive movement forward. We have also movement, choices, and decisions in a reverse position. We have desires. We have worthy. And then we have also uncertainty. We have uncertainty in the reading. I'm gonna shuffle a tarot card. Six of Swords. Similar to group number 1. Whereas with group number 1, they're still kind of in it and they're not allowing themselves to move forward because of how it's made them feel. Group number 2 is, in a way, looking at all of this differently. So let's talk about this. We have universe, we have past life, and we have healing. So for group number 2, I feel that you guys are working through healing a lot of childhood trauma or things that have happened in the past. There could be an emphasis of learning about your grandmother's story or her mother's story, your grandfather's story or his story. There could even be something going on learning about your mom's story, your dad's story. Family is pretty important for group number 2, or what has happened in your family has shaped and affected your life. And there's a time where I feel that you guys are in deep self-reflection right now because you're thinking about what you want your legacy to look like. And because you're thinking about what you want your legacy to look like and what you want your world to look like for your life, for your being, you could be detaching yourself right now. You could be removing yourself from friends, family, because right now you're focused on how can I get to that next level? What do I need to do to feel elevated? What do I need to do to make this happen for myself? How can I give myself luxury? Now, luxury is different to everyone. Luxury doesn't have to be expensive things, but it can be the luxury to do what you please, the luxury to travel the world and not feel like you have to come back to work, the luxury of just, I don't know, whatever that looks like to you, because everyone is different, everyone's story is different. I feel like with group number 2, you have accepted a lot of the things that has happened and you are still working through it and healing it and understanding that your family, the people in your family, they have their own struggles, their own stuff. And because of that, you're kind of giving energy to what deserves your time. I don't feel like you're trying to make it work, because sometimes we feel like generational curses and healing the family means that we have to be the savior. But you then realize that people have to want to be saved. People have to want to make the effort. And if they're not making the effort and you feel like everything is falling on you and everything is your burden, your responsibility, and these are adults, by the way, these are people that are just choosing not to do what they're supposed to do, it doesn't really serve you to take on that role. And your ancestors are saying, when I had this responsibility, when I had this role, did things change? Were things better? Or did it get worse because I'm no longer present? Did it get worse because I passed on and now we're watching the family fight amongst each other? Did it get worse because there's nobody there that cares enough to be the referee? And if you don't care to be the referee, if you don't want that responsibility, if you don't want that burden, your reading is saying it's not for you to carry that burden. It's not your responsibility. You can only carry what you are willing to. Everything is not your responsibility, group number 2. So there's a vibe here of, as much as you want things to be better, as much as you want things to change, as much as you want to heal and move past it, you want to see what life looks like with this person when you get to the other side of things, you want that happy resolution, it may not happen in the way that you're anticipating. No matter all the efforts and all the love that you're pouring into it, it may not go down that way, group number 2. Like, that's kind of like, there's something here in your reading where it says like acceptance, and also moving past this is going to be the best thing that you can do. While group number 1 is holding on, group number 2, I feel like you're tired of holding on. I feel like you're tired of this being the story that you tell about your family or yourself or your relationships. You are ready for the shift. You are ready for the change. You are ready. And this doesn't feel like your guides are forcing you to do it. This feels like you're a willing participant in wanting what's best for you. There could just be some uncertainty of how you're going to get there. And also there's some uncertainty of, am I worthy enough? Is this good enough? Will I do a good job? Some of you guys could be thinking about going back to college, going back to school, finishing what it is that you started, but asking yourself, so much time has passed because I was trying to work this out, or I was trying to be better, or I was trying to do all of this to feel whole, but it just didn't go as planned. I thought if I moved here, I thought if I did this, I thought if I started this relationship, I thought if I did whatever that I started, that it was going to help me feel better. But it didn't really make me feel better. It made me learn a lot about myself. And now that I've learned this about myself, I learned that, you know what, this isn't really working for me. I learned that, you know what, I don't really want this anymore. There's a level of detachment that I feel for group number 2, where you guys are ready to say, yeah, this doesn't fit me anymore. This isn't good for me anymore. And I'm not going to force it. I'm going to just let this be. And you are encouraged to do this. You are encouraged to move forward. You are encouraged to make this happen for yourself. The message here says, desires, I offer all longings to you. It says, change me, God, into one who offers all longings to you. Let me feel whole, knowing all true needs will be handled. You are my source for all. The next message says, I know my worth. Change me, divine beloved. Change me, God, into one who knows my own worth. Let me feel entitled to speak my truth with love. May I know what I deserve, to be surrounded by those who value me, who values my presence. And then we have the uncertainty card. I may live in the now and relax peacefully into the unfolding, knowing all the pieces of the puzzle will fall into place at the right time and not a moment before. May I live in the now. I feel like group number 2, you are making some important decisions. And 6 of Swords is in a past position. So you have already accepted whatever that this is. You have already moved forward. Yep, we have 3 of Cups, Knight of Swords. And the Chariot. So this is your sign to go for it. This is your time to get up out of there, to do the things that you say that you want to do, because you will be in your right to do so, and you will have tremendous support. You honestly will. I don't feel like you have anything to worry about. So I want to read to you the message of the past life card right here. It says here, we each hold our past experiences within our subconscious memory and carry these subconscious memories from one life into the next. Your past influences the way you currently react to and experience life. a current issue affecting your life and your relationship stems from a fear you developed in a past life. Having an understanding of past lives can sometimes help you make sense of your present life and personality traits. The memory and feeling associated with your past lives can be assessed by sitting quietly in meditation and asking God to show you anything that may help you in the present during this moment. You may be shown a glimpse of a past life that has contributed to a current fear or situation you face, and this can often help you heal the present. Keep an open heart during your meditation. Know that you are surrounded by light and love at all times. Ask your guides and your angels to show you only that which will help you dissolve and heal current issues. Before you finish your past meditation, imagine all of your past experiences bathed in love and light. So there's a vibe here of acceptance that I appreciate in group number 2, because this just, again, this feels like, you know what, this isn't working for me. You know what, I'm ready for this change. I'm ready for that reset. I'm ready to heal. I'm emotionally pulling away. I am worthy of this. And may I live in the now and relax peacefully into the unfolding, knowing all of the pieces of the puzzle will fall into place at the right time. There's a level of confidence that group number 2 has. And let's say you're not really having that. Let's say you're unsure. You're being called to have that confidence. You're being called to know that this is working out. And if you're watching this, this should give you that confirmation that, yes, I'm making the right decision. And I'm doing what's best for me, finally. Right, you guys are a little different than group number 2. Group number 1. Group number 1 is stuck in the past. Group number 2 is embracing the future. You guys are embracing what needs to be. And it's funny that past life is here, because I believe in past lives. I also believe in reincarnation to a certain extent. I don't believe everyone reincarnates, but I do believe in certain things. And when we talk about past lives, every time I get readings, people ask me, who was I in a past life? And I've just been in this vibe of encouraging my clients to actually reach deep and figure that out within themselves. You know what I mean? I will guide, but I will say, hey, I feel like this is who you were, and I feel like you should meditate on this and explore that part of yourself so you can understand why things are happening in the way that they are. A good example of past lives is within the Black community. If you're watching this and you're Black, hey, you know, right? But I love everyone if you're here. But let's just talk about the Black community a little bit. A lot of people that are Black can't swim. And I always wondered, why is there a lot of people that's Black that can't swim? Like, they're afraid of drowning. They cannot swim. Well, that's a past life trauma. There's a reason why a lot of Black people cannot swim. And in this lifetime, they avoid water, or they don't really do anything to learn how to navigate the sea. Because in a past life, or our ancestors, that is, our people were slaves, and they were thrown overboard in the water to drown. That's a lot of trauma. You understand? So a lot of Black people not being able to swim, and then voluntarily not wanting to learn to swim, there's a trauma connected to that. So think about a fear or a trauma that you may have that doesn't really allow you to overcome it. And a lot of it has to do with because your soul has experienced that. Your soul has experienced that fear. And you haven't been able to work through it or get to the other side of what it would look like if you can conquer this fear, if you can work through it. So as of late, I've been seeing a lot of people in the Black community taking it upon themselves to learn how to swim. You know what I mean? Taking it upon themselves to not have this fear and conquering and overcoming that. Okay? And that can be reflected on certain parts of your love life. What are things that you are scared of? Why are you scared of it? Maybe it's happened a long time ago, and this relationship or this connection is here so you can break that cycle. And I feel like with group number 2, you guys are going to be proudly breaking cycles because you're recognizing where the change needs to happen. Okay? So this reading is not necessarily what's to come per se, but it's more so of confirmation of what needs to happen. And what needs to happen is Knight of Swords, the Chariot. Now, For group number 2, you can expect to receive an email, a phone call, a message. There's information coming towards you that's going to help you make this important decision. Okay? If you've been waiting on confirmation, you're going to be receiving that very, very soon. And it's going to help you navigate through these waters. It really is. What can group number 2 look forward to? And I feel like when you guys actually, like, oh my God, you guys can look forward to so much happiness and bliss. And then you have 6 of Swords, and then you also have 3 of Pentacles reversed. You can expect a new chapter. You can expect a new beginning. And I feel like you're going to be happy about this. What Spirit is showing me is leaving your home, taking your important things and just leaving and never looking back, because maybe you were in a situation where you didn't feel safe. And when the person went to work, you finally packed all your bags and you left, and you kind of put everything in a storage that no one knows about. You only told a few people where you were going, and you left and didn't look back. And it feels good. You're going to feel free. You know what I mean? Or you booked the flight and you're about to travel by yourself, and you're sitting on that plane by yourself, and you take a sigh of relief because you're finally getting away from whatever that is, or however that made you feel, and you're starting again, you're doing again. I know that feeling all too well. That's how I felt when I went to Egypt for the first time, because that was my first big trip by myself. I had nobody with me, and I remember just sitting on the plane, and I had the window seat, so I was just looking out into the clouds, and I said, I am far away from everything that I know. I am far away from home. And it felt good to be far away from home, from someone where everyone needs me, everybody's in my face, or whatever the case, and I'm just there kind of fixing everything. I was in the clouds, just away from everything. And I wasn't grieving that I was away from everyone or everything. I felt such a relief. And a release as well. I felt so free. And I feel like that's what you all are working towards. You want to feel that sense of freedom. So I feel like this breakup, this separation, whatever that this is, you're going to be very happy that you made that choice and that you made it happen. And you're going to feel really good about it. Now, I keep getting a sense that for group number 2, you've been thinking about like maybe quitting or just letting something go. Some of you guys, I see some of you guys dyeing your hair. Some of you guys could be dyeing your hair. Like, you finally feel good about saying goodbye. And oh my God, you got 8 of Swords reversed. 8 of Swords reversed talks about feeling trapped. But then 8 of Swords reversed says, I'm free. I'm no longer trapped. I'm no longer in this. I am free to do what I want, to be what I want. I'm free to say whatever I want, and you're no longer welcome, or this is no longer welcomed in my life. And I no longer care to dive deep as to why that happened or why that person did what they did. I'm cool off of you. I'm off of you. I'm free in every sense of the word. And this is the things I'm going to do to feel that. And I'm going to enjoy myself, and I'm going to give that to myself because I deserve it. I'm free of this situation. I'm free of how this made me feel. And this is where I'm at. And that's what I'm feeling for group number 2. And you are on the right track on that note. So group number 2, I feel very empowered. And I hope you feel empowered too, because your healing did not go in vain. Your struggles did not go in vain. You and your process and all of your hard work did not go unnoticed either. And if you needed a sign that you should go for it, go for it. Go for it. Like, this is like the best decision that you can make for yourself, even if it's difficult to make. Even if it makes you cry a little bit, or you're like, oh, I don't want to, but I have to. This will be the best decision that you can make for yourself. Group number 2. I say, go for it. Go where you are loved. Go where you are celebrated. Go where all that is good resides, because that's where you need to be. And now that you're done with that chapter, now that you're done with whatever that was, you can focus on the things that you love. You can get back on track, back to you, back to your groove, back to you. Because because maybe you kind of lost yourself a little bit. But this reading is kind of like you actually coming to that conclusion, and you're kind of wondering, well, what do I need to do? Like, I need a sign that I should do this. I need a sign because I'm ready. This is the sign. Anyways, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this guided message. This reading brought me so much life and love, and I love this for you guys. I love that you're standing on business. I love, love, love this for you. And if you're not, this is the sign that you're in your right to start. So thank you so much for being present with me, for listening to this message. If you chose group number 2, I would love to hear if this resonated. Leave a comment down below, and I would love to read your story. Share with me what's been going on with you. It would really mean a lot because I like to read the comments. I do read the comments. So I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day or evening whenever you hear this or receive this. Please be safe and have a beautiful rest of your day or evening whenever you get this. Bye. Hi guys, if you chose group number 3, I almost said 2, but 3. If you chose group number 3, then this message is divinely for you. These are your oracle cards. We're going to see the oracle message that's showing in. What are messages that your ancestors would like for you to hear during this time? This is your reading group number 3. We have acceptance. We have the sacred mountain. I'm gonna put it like this. We have love begins for group number 3. We also have trapped in fear. We have also choosing wisely. Okay. We have choosing wisely. We have boundaries for group number 3. Wow. We also have, I'm gonna put this up here. Yeah. We have boundaries. We have true nature. And lastly, we have uniqueness for group number 3. And I also have my tarot cards where I'm going to shuffle a little bit, kind of get a tarot card. What are messages that group number 3 needs to hear from their ancestors and spirit guides? Messages that they need to hear for their highest good and protection. We have the Fool card that literally jumped up reverse. Interesting. Clarify the Fool reverse. Clarify the Fool reverse. Clarification for the Fool reverse. Chariot. So your message here is very interesting, group number 3, because there's a vibe here of understanding your worth and understanding the love that you bring, and also understanding that you had nothing to fear and you had nothing to worry about, because things have a way of working itself out. I feel like for group number 3, you have lucked out in certain situations, and even if you felt like you were unlucky, everything just ended up working out in your favor for you. And I feel that in your reading, there's just something about kind of looking at the positive and everything and focusing on how far you have come and where you are in your life and in your journey, and really being proud of yourself of how strong you have become and everything that you needed to learn and everything that you needed to do to be where you are now. I feel like with love begins and trapped in fear reverse, you're no longer fearful of the worst that could happen. I feel like you understand what needs to be done. I feel like for group number 3, you spent a long time being scared. You spent a long time in your head. You spent a long time not doing what needs to be done, not moving forward, not believing in yourself, not shining your light, not going for your dreams. You spent a long time just denying you and your talents and how capable you are. Like, I will say for group number 3, what I'm getting in this reading, this did not happen overnight, and it took a very long time for you to look at yourself and say, I got this. I'm gonna make this happen, or I made it happen. I am now here. and I survived so much. Like group number 3, you survived a lot. You've been through a lot. So the fact that you're even listening to this reading and you're like sitting with me, can I just say I'm proud of you for being present? I'm proud of you for still continuing on, because the first 2 groups in this reading, they're moving forward. Whereas with group number 3, you're already in that space. You're already in that utopia that you've created for yourself, or you are almost there and you're getting close to it, or you have already given yourself the life that you deserve. Granted, you're either working towards it or you already have it. But for some reason with group number 3, you already have a sense of peace and prosperity in your life. But if you've been having hard times, understand that this is not going to be a forever thing, because there are some amazing opportunities coming your way, group number 3. But I will say that your reading is coming off not as what you need to do or what you need to do to make your life better. This is more so of a warning. You're getting a warning message because even though you're making a lot of progress, there could be something going on where if you're not careful, you can end up going backwards. You can end up accepting something again. You can end up tolerating something that you know that you shouldn't. That I do see. That I do feel. I do get that vibe of, you know, if group number 3 is not careful, they could end up in the same situation that they were in, because you're seeing the signs for what it is, but maybe you're making excuses, or you're saying, nah, that's not what's happening. And your guided message is saying boundaries, okay? Boundaries. And the affirmation is saying, I am entitled to say no. And the message on the card, it says here, change me, divine beloved, change me, God, into one who easily sets boundaries wherever needed. May I feel entitled to say no to any situation that feels bad or wrong. Fill me with divine confidence to speak through me and to speak my truth, is the affirmation and the prayer that is here. Now, for group number 3, you're in your happy space, or you've worked really hard to have what this is. You've worked really hard to make this possible. And now there could be someone or something trying to disturb that. This is where you're going to have to set your boundaries and make it so, because you're taking a risk by accepting or allowing this person or allowing whatever that this is to kind of come back into your life. This could also be patterns. It doesn't have to be a person. This could be, hey, you've been clean, or you've been sober, or you've been on this path. Are you really going to go back to that? Are you really going to welcome this back into your world? So this is kind of like your ancestors kind of reeling you back in and checking you, saying, hey, you could be overindulging. You could be doing the opposite and undoing everything that you've done. So it's amazing because your reading is saying you're actually in a good space, or you're working towards getting there, but something is going to happen. A challenge is going to present itself that's going to make you question, should I do this? Should I give them another chance? Should I go back? Should I accept this? Should I? And a part of it could be because you feel bad, or it's kind of like, well, maybe things will be different because of this, and this. This is a clear sign that it's not, and you should stay on the path that you're on, okay? Stay on the path that you're on, because it's just looking like this beautiful moment could crash if you let certain things rock when you know that you shouldn't. So this is more of a warning message saying, hey, accept things for what it is. You're strong, you're beautiful, love begins. You're no longer in that bad space, but choose wisely on how you're going to move forward and how you're going to navigate these waters. The next oracle message says true nature. The message here says, change me, God, change me, divine beloved, into one who knows the true nature of our souls, of my being. Awaken me to the knowledge of love. Let me know my true self as a whole. And then the uniqueness card is here. It says, change me, divine beloved, into one who embraces my own uniqueness. Let me accept my own good nature completely, knowing it too is divine. May I love myself as I am and not as others say I should be. Okay. Boundaries, choosing wisely, standing up for yourself, not accepting any BS, not accepting anything that's going to come into your space and make a mess. Protecting your energy, protecting what you are building is going to be very important for group number 3. Because with group number 3, you have accepted everything you needed to accept it, like group number 2. And like group number 1, you've already went through the worst of it, and you've already experienced what it's like to stay in that same space. You're literally out the woods. So Spirit is saying, if you're out of the woods, if you're out of the worst part, why are you going to run back in the woods? Like, that's kind of the message, group number 3. Like, think about it. You just went through all of this. You just did this. It's kind of like washing your hands and drying your hands in dirt and mud. Like, you got soap and water, you're washing your hands, and then you just go in the mud. Like, why? Why? No. So the message here is no. The message here is don't do it. If you even gotta think about it, like, well, should I? Then it's a no. It's respectfully, it's a no. And it's because your ancestors want you to protect this little piece of peace that you have established. And remember, it took you a long time to get here. You understand? It took you a very long time to see what life can be like when you just let things be, you let things rock, and you say no, and you leave it alone. So if you felt peace leaving it alone, why go out of your way to go bother it? So again, like I said, if you got out of the woods, why go back? And I want you to imagine the woods as dark and scary, filled with dementors, like from Harry Potter. They just suck the energy out of you. I just want you to imagine this forest as a horror movie. It's Halloween season. Imagine this forest as something dark and scary. And it took you a very long time to get out of that. And for whatever reason, because your ex is there, because whomever is in there, you're saying, well, you know what? I fought a good fight when I was in that forest and I won. So you know what? I'm going to go do it all over again. Because I've proven myself that I'm strong and I can handle it. So I'm going to go back in there because I know I'm going to win again. But you may not come back out whole, my love. You may not come back out unscathed. You may come back out, something's broken. A scar that may not heal. It's like, it can get worse, group number 3. So you're being encouraged to not look back. You're being encouraged to leave this alone. Whatever this is, leave this alone. This is a risk. This is not a good move. Now, how this is showing up in your life, let's kind of make some examples. You just got your apartment and now your boyfriend wants to move in. It's a no. Another thing, let me think. You just bought all of this new furniture, but you decide, you know what? Let me get a cat, a young cat with nails and energy and disobedience that will destroy everything in its path because it's a cat and the cat doesn't care. You're going to love it. It's going to be cute. But now you have destruction in your home because you decided to get all of this beautiful, expensive furniture and then buy a cat. This can be texting your ex back, knowing what he's about, getting back with him, everything's great, and then he turns around and does something, and now you're in the same thing that you were in before, only this time, you know, you probably did so much to change yourself, to change your appearance, and now you're back where you started. It's like you made all of this progress to go backwards. It can be finishing your degree, but then deciding to, I don't know, it's like finishing your degree and then deciding to take a course all over again or do something all over again because you just want to, but it's wasting your time and it's wasting your money when you don't have to do anything to prove yourself. If you got your degree, why go backwards? There's so many analogies that I can use. It can be saying yes to your family when you really actually wanted to say no. It can be so many things. It can be so many things. It can be clearing off your debt and then now you're ready to pull out $100,000 in debt, a loan, and you just cleared it up. So is there another way that you can go about this? So think about what it is that you're doing, and think about what are the consequences if I make this choice, because everything is so peaceful right now, or at least everything is quiet. If it's not peaceful, it's quiet. It's quiet. And if it's quiet, eventually it will get peaceful because it's quiet. So why make it loud? Something to think about. Group number 3, something to think about. Something to think about. Something to definitely think about. More cards. What can group number 3 look forward to? 2 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, the Magician. So what you can look forward to is actually your money is going to be improving. Your money's going to be improving. Your life is going to be improving. Everything is going to end up working out in your divine favor. That is here. Magician is here. And it's all because you manifested everything that's happening before you. But if you are not careful and you go backward and you accept whatever that this is, it ends up hurting you in the end. Okay? So 8 of Wands can also talk about going backwards. So don't go backwards, go forward. Okay? And it feels like something's going to tempt you to want to deal with this or no. At least it's not a good time for you to do that right now. How about that? How about, I'm not telling you not to forgive, and I'm not telling you to like hold grudges, but maybe right now it's not in your place to make space for people and to make space for all of that. Maybe for right now it's about you. And when you give yourself enough of that time to yourself, when you have done the work and when you feel whole and you have the space and capacity to be open to whomever or whatever that this is, then go for it, because you've already filled your cup. But right now, it's kind of like you, again, another example, buying a house, but you didn't enjoy your house. You bought the house and then you threw a big party. Now you're cleaning up, and you want to buy your house, put the furniture in, and enjoy your house. Enjoy your space. Enjoy being alone in your space before you start doing housewarmings and inviting people. You want to kind of get settled in this new way of being before you start doing stuff like you used to that kind of brought you to the place that you're in right now. See what I mean? So just, the answer is don't do it, respectfully, if you do it, though, because I can't tell you what to do. Everyone's story is different. But if you go with this, because here's the thing, and this is not about everything. This is about you going back and forth about if you should allow this when you know the consequences of it. If you're going back and forth with it and you know the consequences and you're aware, the answer is no, don't do it, reconsider. Reconsider. Please reconsider. Don't do it. At least not right now. Not right now, not right now, not right now. Because you know what? When whomever in question or whatever in question did what they did, they didn't give you time and space to work through it. You had to kind of do that all on your own. So whomever's waiting for you, whoever wants your energy and attention and time, it's not for you to jump and give them that. It's for you to be like, I'm not ready to do that right now. I'm going to enjoy this quiet, and I will speak to you when I'm ready to speak to you. I will handle this when I'm ready to handle this. And this feels more like emotions and connections for group number 3. I don't feel like this is career, because career is going to be doing very well for group number 3. Job opportunities, beautiful opportunities, that's coming for group number 3. But this is more about connections, friendships, family, matters of the heart, and boundaries for group number 3. Okay? So don't go backwards on your word, go forward. Anyways, group number 3, that is your reading. I really, really hope that this resonated with you. Leave a comment down below if you chose group number 3. At least you guys are in a better space. Just don't go backwards, please. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Give this video a thumbs up, again, if you enjoyed it. And I do read the comments, so please let me know if this resonated. And we will be back with another reading. Bye, guys.